Welcome to the Executive Corner Expert Talks by Kalkine TV. I'm Sage and today's guest is Mr Anuranjan Sharma, the Digital Marketing Head of Works for You. And the employment sector is in focus with the economy reopening after arduous lockdowns. New Zealand's unemployment rate is at the lowest it's been in years. And there is speculation that workers are becoming more fussy about the type of role they take on. Well, Works for You is an outsourcing company that offers admin assistance, customer support, customer feedback surveys, digital marketing, software development, graphics and web designing, as well as back office support for a range of businesses from aerospace to education. And as you know, we bring you the industry leaders, successful business owners, all under the one roof to help you discover the insights of the stock markets. And bringing you live today, we have Mr Anuranjan Sharma, Digital Marketing Head at Works for You. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Sage. Thank you for having me on the show.
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you. We're keen to share your insights today. So let's get started.
Well, I would like to thank Sure. Yes.
Thank you so much. In your opinion, what makes Works for You a preferred outsourcing company in Australia, please?
Well, Sage, Work for You is an outfit that believes in the agile methodology to deliver to its clients' requirements. In simpler terms, it means that we follow a process where we are in constant conversation with our clients. Almost all successful IT outfits have switched from the traditional waterfall model to an agile one. We strongly believe in a client-oriented approach, which makes us the preferred outsourcing company in Australia. People at Work for You value human values and believe in giving a human touch to the work that we do. What we believe is crucial. We go back to the basics and offer not only the best services to our clients, but also provide them with a personalized quality of work. This model of ours has proven to be quite successful, and it is evident in a high rate of customer retention and satisfaction. So that's the secret sauce of Work for You.
I like the way you put it, the secret sauce. And just that added human touch, especially at this time when we've been so remote from each other, working remotely, isolating, quarantining, all that, I think people will appreciate that human touch and just a little bit of extra attention and interest put into the needs of your clients sounds like a great strategy to move forward in the right direction. So during these times of pandemic, cost cutting has become a significant part to sustain a business. What would you suggest is the most effective way of cutting capital and other expenditures in these challenging times, please, Anuranjan?
Well, adapting to the pandemic has been quite a challenging task for all the companies. And there's no hiding that product-based companies have been hit the hardest by this worldwide crisis. However, at Work for You, the case is opposite. The reason behind this is that our business process is built over relieving the workload and the burden of our clients. Remote outsourcing services are all about this. We have been pretty successful with the service bracket in these times. Many of our clients have managed to pull through this pandemic because of a dedicated remote assistance and outsourcing. They had been saving on the overhead costs and they saved a bit more during this pandemic. Tens of millions of people have been pushed to work from their homes and infrastructure costs are naturally down because of this. Cost cutting while maintaining a healthy workforce has been the biggest challenge for any digital or IT company. This problem has been acknowledged by the top level CFOs in the world. Our cost cutting strategy has been simple. We aim to remove any sort of redundancy in terms of employee compensation. And the pandemic has also proven to us that work can be done from our homes and geographical boundaries are mere psychological. They're not really practical. With every Zoom meeting, we realize that the customers and our employees can save time and effort, thereby optimizing our business process. Secondly, we have also reviewed our investment plans. Although the pandemic hit everyone by surprise, but there was enough time to plan. The warning signs were almost there around when this pandemic started, and we had been quite responsive to that. Along with our MD, Mr. Deepak Mandi, he is the torchbearer of this company. So this has helped us switch around the most robust investments that we were capable of withstanding the economic decline during the pandemic. Lastly, there have been some things which naturally fell into place. Overhead costs such as travel and entertainment were reduced by a very large margin. So that obviously worked in our favor.
Thank you so much for sharing your insights there. And although remote working seems to work for a temporary period, I think a lot of businesses are keen to get their people back into the office, which is why using outsourced digital professionals to help with the transition and the pivot to adapt to the pandemic conditions was so important. So thank you so much for sharing those insights. What are the essential tools needed for any brand to achieve and maintain consistent growth and development of a business, please?
Well, we at Work For You believe that the most essential tool is flexibility and adaptiveness. Every day we hear of a new technology making a breakthrough. Companies such as ours need to be open to new ideas and methods and review their operational and processes very frequently. The sole purpose of technology is to make our lives easier. Right from the wheel to where we are today, technology has helped us live better and earn better. If we do not accept and more importantly, we don't adopt new methods and systems, there is a very little chance that we are going to be successful or we are going to grow. Apart from this, using these latest technologies to drive a customer centric approach is crucial to a successful business model, especially in outsourcing and IT and digital marketing. Especially in our case, as an outsourcing company, our clients expect us, and rightly so, to deliver to the requirement with the best tools at hand. So these are some of the tools that we put into practice.
That's right. Couldn't say it better myself. Thank you so much for sharing that. And as an expert, how do you solve different kinds of business problems to help your clients achieve optimum efficiency?
Well, this is something our MD, Mr. Deepak Kamandi, is an expert at. He has developed quite a unique methodology to solve various kinds of business problems, which is being emulated at Work For You. To begin with, we gather as much data points as possible for the situation at hand. We improve efficiency. It is crucial to define the problem first. We bring in multiple factors to help us do that. Market research and competitor analysis is one of them. After that, we do a SWOT analysis. We identify blockers early on, which helps us solve large problems, which helps us avoid large problems. After that, we go about with a human centric approach, or we also call it design thinking, to come up with multiple solutions. There is not one single solution that we provide to a client, there are multiple solutions. Design thinking aims to understand the customer requirements at hand and helps in rapid prototyping and constant feedback management from the customer. Design thinking is customer centric, which also resonates with Work For You's vision and Mr. Deepak Mandi's awesome problem solving abilities. We also believe in involving mentors and team members. Brainstorming sessions have been, they've proven quite successful and positive for Work For You. We get on frequent calls with our customers in order to track vital signs, which are absolutely necessary for a healthy functioning of a company and processes. Also, before any problem, lean planning is absolutely paramount. It is a conscious and fast way to jot down business strategies and possible workarounds. So that's exactly what we're doing at Work For You.
Fantastic. And sometimes I think having a fresh set of eyes, taking a look at a business's moat, what they offer, how they fit into the wider sector from an outsourced company like yours can be such a benefit to see the opportunities and the threats that maybe they sometimes can't see. And then to expand those horizons for them for future prospects that may not yet be available. Fantastic. Sounds like you offer a really efficient service yourself. And lastly, in your opinion, how has the pandemic transformed the way businesses advertise themselves? We've noticed Facebook's had a rebranding in a way with their company name changing to Meta. How does the future instigate or encourage this type of rebranding in your opinion?
Well, identifying a customer segment has been the highlight of the pandemic, and how we advertise ourselves is like a B2B outsourcing company. The five major parameters that have been identified after the pandemic are cost, health, planet, society, and experience. Well, instead of competing with other companies, what we are doing is that we are competing with the last best experience that the customer has had with us. That's the best mode of advertising that we can carry out for us. There is no monopoly in services at the moment. Maybe a minority may disagree, but customers go for an experience rather than a brand. And the bar for expectations has gone up since the pandemic hit us. Customers expect fast results and quick processes. Yes, advertising does come into play, but that is to a very certain level. Earlier, prospecting and roping in new customers were just like dating. Now it's exactly like online dating. The advertising sector has shifted almost entirely to the digital medium instead of the physical medium. Well, instead of developing great products, the pandemic has infused the realization that developing great values is more important. Companies that followed a human centric approach even before the pandemic proved to be more resistant to the economic negative climate during the pandemic. And marketing, of course, is the center of a company's growth, and it's not just a branch or division of the company. So it's kind of a soul for any company.
Thank you so much for putting it in a nutshell for us. And yes, it does seem that the pandemic has offered a bit of a redistribution in power, and now with more transparency, we're working out exactly how workers and businesses can be perfectly matched. Like you say, I love the analogy of the online dating. And yes, it looks like the sky's the limit. Once you match the right people with the right work, you can really get the most out of them. Thank you, Anuranjan. Was there any final insights you'd like to share? What are the near-term pipeline goals for your business?
Well, we have quite big plans for the future. We are expanding like anything. The pandemic was kind of an opportunity for us to develop our processes, and we have really come up with new workforce, new enthusiasm, and new processes in place. And yes, we have big plans for the future, and we are going to grow quite exponentially in 1 or 2 years.
Sounds great, and best of luck with your near-term goals and your growth strategy.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for being available for Expert Talks by Kalkine. We really do appreciate your insights today.
Thank you. Thank you, Sage. It was a pleasure interacting with you.
And if you've just joined us, we had a very interesting discussion with Mr. Anuranjan Sharma, Digital Marketing Head at Works for You. And the full recorded interview will be available on YouTube at Kalkine Media. And as we say, stay apprised and invest wise with Kalkine.